All morning long, we've been talking about the Met Gala, and one trendsetter who never disappoints is Golden Globe and Emmy-winning actress Sarah Jessica Parker.
Of course, she's best known for her role as Carrie Bradshaw, a character she's played for more than 25 years in Sex and the City and the Revival series, and Just Like That. And now, the fashion icon, entrepreneur, and Broadway star has a new passion project. We want to hear all about it. But before we do, Andy Cohen said that one of his favorite nights of the year is being with you at the Met Gala. I love that that was what he said. He goes, I'm having the best night. Look who I'm.
My date is the best.
My date is the What, I mean, most of us.
We don't get to go every year, so I'm just wondering how he fills that one night. Must be so bleak for him.
He's just watching.
Good night.
Watching the red carpet, just wishing he was there.
What happens, by the way, because we watched you on the red carpet, thought it was beautiful. What happens once one enters the gala? Because a lot of people have never been.
Once one enters, you are among, I consider, the very privileged few who get to see the exhibit early.
Yes.
And if I can just take a second and say that exhibit this year at the Costume Institute, Andrew Bolton, who's the curator and has been for many years, it is the most unforgettable, glorious exhibition I've ever seen at the Costume Institute. It's my favorite. I mean, he is incredible, and his entire staff, and they are knowledgeable and inspired and wise and, you know, deeply curious about fabric, materials, styles, silhouettes, everything. But this particular exhibit, I think, is one of the great ever. So what happens after you
go in,
manage to get up those steps is that you have a chance to see the exhibit. And I try to take my time and Anna asked me, you know, we are given slots to arrive, and I was really grateful this year because it was quieter when I got there, and there were very few people in the gallery, so that's what happens.
Ooh,
and then you chat and look at people that, you know, you'd never be in a room with. And
is there music and dinner and all that kind of stuff?
There is. I couldn't sit. So
you just went for the cocktails.
I literally couldn't sit.
But then did you? And then you didn't stay for dinner.
I didn't.
Yeah. You also had an early morning. I
did. I have things to do this morning. And but it's a really lovely opportunity to be inside, you know, one of the great cultural institutions in the world and kind of have access to it in a way that's like, I don't know if any of you read the Mixed Up Files of Miss Paisley.
Yes, of course.
One of my favorite books when I was a little girl. So every single time I'm in the Met in that way, it's great. But also just people that you'd never be in a canyon with. Like, you know, never your paths wouldn't cross. And I never speak to anybody. I'm very shy. That's why being with Andy, who is the mayor of whatever event he attends. You know,
that's
you know
true.
well.
Oh, yes.
And I will agree. I got to see the exhibit early, and it's so beautiful.
Can
so people should go.
It
was incredible, and I feel like it's more interactive. So people that aren't even into fashion will find it to be really appealing.
I mean, just the headpieces, the millinery work. I've never seen so many shades of yellow in my entire life. There are tiny little pieces that are like cocktail aprons, and like it's incredible.
I think it's interesting that you say you're shy. For some reason, I just was just living there for just a second.
I've never been good at a big party. Like I'm always afraid. I'm always nervous. If you tell me a dinner party with 12 people, I'm the first to arrive. But a big party, I'm just, and everybody's so famous.
That's how we feel. But that's how we feel. But we're surprised you feel that way.
We get it.
Okay, you just had the table read we saw on Instagram for season 3. What can you tell us anything? Are you excited?
I can tell you nothing.
All right.
I'm glad we asked. But wait, no, Rosie O'Donnell made some news.
Yes, so she's doing an episode, but I don't get to be in any scenes with her. But I got to be at the table read with her.
Okay.
I think it's just really, it feels like it has a sort of souffle quality to me this year. I don't know, there's a sort of it just feels really lovely, and I don't know, I mean, I do know what's ahead.
Yes.
So there will be, you know, layers and complexity and complications, as there always are, and certainly in Carrie's life.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you've just wrapped up some Broadway with your hubby.
Well, I wrapped up London.
Yeah, London, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. How was that, by the way, working with your husband? I know you've done that.
It was incredible. We did it in New York, and it was a wonderful success, and we went to the West End. I've never performed in the West End, and it was... The audiences were so hospitable and enthusiastic, and we were nervous because it's a very American play. And typically, historically, they always say, you know, London audiences are more reserved and prepare yourself, but they were so... they were just lovely, and it was a great experience. It was long. We were there for a long time, and then we extended, and I think it's hard to be away from home.
Yes.
Also... You know, just restaurants close early there, and that's a big meal of the day afterwards.
What time do they close? Like...
They close early, earlier than 10:45. And that's when you're ready to eat your big meal of the day.
Totally.
So that was like a thing that I know it sounds like inconsequential, but not when you're hungry.
Angry with your husband.
And so we spent a lot of time together.
You're happy to be home.
You know, he's incredible, and he's one of the great interpreters of Neil Simon. So it was incredible and memorable.
Well, we have a lot more to talk with you about. You have a big passion project, and we're going to talk about that. It has to do with your love of books. We'll do that right after this.
Can't wait.
We're back with Sarah Jessica Parker, whose latest role has her ushering in the next generation of talented writers with her book imprint. It's SJP Lit.
Oh,
by the way, brilliant.
Love that.
Title. Brilliant.
Okay, and sitting next to her is one of those writers, Alina Grabowski, whose debut novel, Women and Children First, is out today.
Oh, like a proud mama right there, SJP.
Sarah Jessica, I feel like, I mean, I know that you are a reader in your core, and I think a lot of people know that about you, but what do you remember when it was that you were like, oh my God, this is what I want to do, and I want to be part of it?
I never considered publishing. I would never have dared dream or been so completely ludicrous to suggest it, but I came to know Molly Stern, who was a big editor at Crown, was the editor at Crown, and we came to start a book club. It's a long story, which I won't bore your audiences with, because far more interesting is Alina Grabowski and Women and Children First. But over a period of time, we came to know each other through books, and I was reading a lot of books that have yet to be published, especially in literary fiction, which is my favorite part and category in publishing. And she just said, do you want to publish? And I was like, I can't publish. I'm not an editor. I didn't go to college. I can't even be a line editor. And she convinced me that I could, and that I would be surrounded by people who would be willing to teach me. And so we started publishing. I think that's when I first met you. Wonderful books, incredible, diverse, interesting books, all of which had great success. And when Molly moved and started Zando, I started over again at Zando, and it's been thrilling. And to now offer to readers and greedy readers and excited readers, Alina's book it's such a privilege. This is the best part of loving literature and sharing titles. And there's almost nothing less controversial than talking about
and by the way, and more pleasant.
And it's just like the
How
endless
did you
conversation.
find? I mean, there are so many first-time writers, so many people who deserve a spotlight.
It just came through the normal route. You know, an agent, a literary agent, offered the manuscript not just to me, certainly, but to many people, and I think there was immediately tremendous interest in this manuscript. It was so obvious early on, like very young in the book, that this was a book that I wanted to be part of. And she's just hugely gifted, skilled, but also you're always looking for a singular voice. And so talk to her.
Yes, Alina, we have to hear about this, because I love this idea. It's 10 women and their response to something that's happened. But it's very much the community is part of the narrative. Talk about how the concept came to you.
It's sort of, so it takes place in this fictional Massachusetts town called Mashquitton, and I grew up on the coast of Massachusetts, and it's just such an interesting landscape because like the ocean is right there and it's beautiful, but it's also really harsh and intense. And so I thought it could be interesting to sort of, you know, pair that sort of disturbance in nature with also these women who are really going through disturbances in their own lives and sort of trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. And so I was kind of inspired where I grew up and also just wanted to explore a bunch of female voices because that's what I love to read also is female, like, first-person authors.
Oh, my God.
And she won't say it, but I will. This book has been getting crazy reviews. Like
I've read some of them.
Times, you know, as the books to watch for this spring. I mean, it's a laundry list of accolades which are so deserving. And, you know, sometimes you just can't get across the ransom.
This one will.
And it will.
And today is the date it publishes. So we hope everybody will read with Sarah Jessica, will read with us. It's a beautiful book to check out. Alina's debut novel, Women and Children First. You can head to today.com/books or go to your indie bookstore and pick it up.
And your local library.
And your local library. There
Alina,
you go.
You did a great job.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Awesome job.
We're so proud of you.
Thanks so much for having us.
Y'all come back.
So much.